You know what about dog? SK New Air this. The body out there. Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Race, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha. Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from there you need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
William Knibb Memorial High School D Cup Alumni presents its third annual fundraising barbecue on Memorial Day, May 30th, 2022. Wear your favorite jersey to Wilsonwood Park in Mount Vernon, New York. Remember to take exit 12 off the Hutchinson River Parkway. Music by DJ Mad Max of Sound 1000. Proceeds to aid the William Knibb High School Da Costa Cup team. For more information, contact Keegan 304-607-4034. Our codfish at 954-639-2991. Proud of people, it's important. Remember, make sure say oh no did that.
Yo, saw me, the young Jamaican trainer, Mr. Strength No Weakness himself. Yo, I'm here to tell you guys that the Broses family presents their second annual Blue and White Grill and Chill. Let me let you know something. It will be so much fun and amazing event. Make sure you show up and show out. From the young Jamaican trainer himself. Listen, Saturday, May 28th, and it's 3458 Ballard Avenue, Bronx, New York. We'll see you later. Strength No Weakness.
Yes, welcome to I Am Sure Sports again today. I am Manningsman, your host, and I want to say a big thank you for joining us for our JPL preview and review show. We'll be also sharing with you information concerning the JPL games scheduled for this weekend and what has been transpiring throughout the league. Again, we want to take time out to say a big thank you to the sponsors of this video. Sponsorship of the program is very, very important, so it keeps us going to pay the bill. We don't want JPS to come and disconnect the light and water commission to come and disconnect the water. So we are very grateful for those persons who take time out to put their product on our platform as a way of helping to ensure that the internet stays connected. Yes, and the batteries don't die in the different gadgets. So I want to say firstly, a big thank you to Prestige Finance. Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it most. You can call them at 876-884-7390. They are located in Linstead, St. Catherine, Jamaica, and they're offering loans of up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars. No processing fee, same day processing, and 0 to 4% interest rate. Also, Launch Legacy, where they handle risk and seek legacy for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA. Visit them at launchlegacy.com or call or text 647-989-0782. Big up Trick Nick, always been around supporting us, and big up to the Rossies High School Bro Sister Foundation and William Knibb, who are keeping events to assist their school footballing program and doing a lot of work there. At the end of the video, we'll show you play 2 videos so you can see what they are doing at their schools and you can support them. We also want to tell all our friends over there in the United States of America, guess what? The merch has traveled on the gravel, and one phone call it takes to get the merch right at your doorstep. Yes, the merch is in the United States. And guess what? We only did 22 for the United States market. And from my understanding, they're going really, really well and really, really quickly. And I don't want you to want one and not get one, because I know you want to support the platform. So here's what all you have to do is make one phone call. Call the number on the screen. And if you call that number, in no time, you will get it right at your doorstep. Right? All the arrangements will be made once you reach out and call this number. So do that for those of you in the States right now. I know Shem is in the building and I know she's going to get her shirt. So go ahead, my dear friend, the beautiful, beautiful lady from out of Clarendon, Jamaica, right? When you see her, you say, wow, Lisa Hanna has nothing on her. Big up the freshest God of them all. They call him the fresh God, El Papa, El Padrino. Says big up man in this man. Bless up and thanks for being in the room. We also have our guest as usual, Mr. Rudolph Speed, who sits in the capacity as the technical director at Cavaliers. He'll be talking to us, but Manning's man has some things to say, and I don't want to implicate Mr. Speed in what I'm going to say, so I'm going to keep him off screen, and then I'm going to talk. So yes, this is Manning's man, and then I'll bring him on screen afterwards. Now, I have been doing some phone calls to check on what is happening, and I haven't heard from all the parties that are involved. From the information that I have received, however, there is some issue with Tyreek Ximmines. Now, Tyreek Ximmines, as you know, is just made his international debut for Jamaica. And my understanding from the persons that I've spoken to so far is that he is an amateur player and there was a move for him because of playing time from Harborview to Mount Pleasant. All right. And so a lot of that took place early in the month and up to I think the 22nd. And I heard that information was sent out the 22nd, the 27th. So it went through CASAFA and all of that. But my understanding is that the club still has to sign a transfer. And so that part, the club did not do, the club that owns him, right? Or the club that he was at. They didn't sign, they have not signed, far as I understand, and I stand to be corrected. No transfer was signed. So though he has gotten the okay to move as an amateur player, there is a need for a transfer to be signed by the club, and if that is not signed, the player cannot play. Though the player don't want to be at the club, from my understanding, and all of the things concerning his schooling and stuff that has been dealt with. Now, I respect the parties involved. I respect the player representative. I respect the club that he was a part of, and I respect the club that is seeking to get his service. All the parties involved. But at some point, we have to sit down and ask ourselves, what is in the best interest of the player? You remember I had this conversation that at the end of the day, we must put aside winning, we must put aside money, especially for our younger players, and make decisions that are in their best interest. Now, if you have a player and the player says, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't like the fact that I'm not being given enough time and there's no guarantee. I want to be somewhere where I get guarantee of playing time. And it's a young player, amateur player, then something must be worked out. And it must be done in a professional way. What I would not want to see, because if the player says, I am not going to play back for you, and then he cannot play for any other club, what will happen is that the player ends up not playing any football, which affects him being called up to the national team and also affects him making moves overseas. And nobody wins. Nobody wins. I was having this conversation earlier that as owners and organizers, when it comes on to youthful players, we have to sometimes make decisions that are in their best interest. Listen, I will say this. Harborview is a club that I admire because how they operate, they are a model to they have a model that needs to be implemented in many other clubs because they are very organized in terms of how they do things. Mount Pleasant has also come on the scene, and they are offering something. So there must be a way for a bridge to be made that benefits both players. All right, both clubs and the player. But at the end of the day, what is in the best interest of the player is what needs to be done. All right. So I want to make that very clear today, that the best interest of the player must be served in all of this. And I don't think that is a resolution that is being sought. No, these are the views of Manning's man. It has nothing to do with my guests who come on the program. So I don't want them to be associated with what I've just said. But in my humble estimation, you cannot have a player who just played for the national team at 17 and he is going to be out of action for 6 or 8 months. No football. That benefits nobody. All right? So if the player is not going to play every game and he's going to get somewhere where he plays every game, then allow him to. All right? And work out something where everyone is important, because the most important thing is what happens to this player. All right? So that is my thing. All right? So now we're going to bring in Mr. Speed, and we're going to talk about the leagues. I've answered that whole issue. Let me also give you some information. Got this news from the JPL. So I'll share it with you about the games, and then Mr. Speed, I think, can also share some info on it as well when he comes on. So let me. Yeah, let me just do that for you right now. All right. So, So here's what is happening this weekend, and let me bring up Mr. Speed, who can, if I'm wrong on any of this JPL information, I am sure that he will correct me. Mr. Speed, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. How you doing today?
Thank you for having me. I don't know why you think what you said was controversial. You should try hiding it. It's not really. And I need to help you and help the public who is listening. Look, there's FIFA rules. FIFA has some rules as it relates to transfer, whether you're an amateur or a professional. You know, funny enough, those rules are sent out to all the clubs at the start of the season, before the start of the season, and the second stanza. So, and what is usually sent out is to tell each club what are the transfer windows. Of course, you know, we had one in November, December, then we had one in March. And all transfers must be made in those periods. If you don't, there's just chaos and anarchy that is going to happen. You're going to find that if they didn't have this transfer window, a player could be playing for Cavalier this week. Cavalier get knocked out and don't go through to the playoffs. And then the whole Cavalier team end up playing for another team. So to get rid of those things, transfer windows are essential. I always tell people this. Listen, you see, just like how the players train to play, management must train too. They must know all the rules. So whenever they are giving players advice, players are saying, you know, I want you to be my advisor. So if a player come to me and say, I must advise him properly. And so you have to go back and check, you know, because people who are knowledgeable about football, they know the rules. So I hear your plea, but at the end of the day, management, you have to go by the rules. And nobody wants to lose a good player. So if they can stop it in any way, they will. So the person who's advising need to do the thing properly. I mean, the JFF sent out a request what the transfer windows are. They also said, if you get into any problem with transferring a player, write me back 7 days before the window close. That is clear like deal. Everybody know about that. So Nobody can stop an amateur player from moving unless the amateur player made a mistake or his representatives. So if you have an issue moving, JFF send out the thing every single transfer window. So listen, if you have a problem with transfer, write me back 7 days before the transfer window closes. If those things are done and even the transfer is not done yet up to this point, if that was done 7 days ago, then the player will still be able to move. Otherwise, it's just a lot of incompetence on the part of the team who's supposed to receive the player. Incompetence that the person is, I can understand why them could have made something like that, drop that ball. So there's nobody else to blame more than who's advising the youth or the club that is going. Because if you, the rule is sent out by the JFF twice a year, and it is very, very clear what you must do if you have issues with transfer up there. Now, professional players are different thing. Amateur player, they can't stop the player. Professional player, the person can just refuse to transfer, they can't do anything. So there's very clear rules, and we have to just understand what the rules are and study. So in my mind, if all you say is true, then somebody's incompetent. That's all.
Well, what I heard is that on the 22nd, communication was sent to the JFF about the matter, and on the 20, and then they didn't get any response. That's what I heard. And then also,
but if that's the case, then the transfer can still go through. It's not an issue.
Right. So they said that communication was sent the 22nd and on the 27th. But for me, either way, what I want, and I understand the rule, but what would hurt me the most is somehow this affects the player to the point that he doesn't play any football. Whatever the resolution is, I want him to play football.
No. But if it was done properly, he would make the trip. So as I say, it's only if somebody incompetent it can. Because if they wrote the JFF on the 22nd, that means they would have wrote the JFF before the 7-day deadline. Which means that the transfer can still go through. So it wouldn't be an issue. If they didn't, then they have a real problem, right? Because even if Arborview wanted the player to transfer, he couldn't transfer again because the deadline passed. You see my point?
Okay.
But don't knock a team who want to keep good player. Everybody wants.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm not doing that. I would not. I can and I have faced that before, where I had a player at my club that our next club wanted, and I didn't want him to leave.
I'm to all of us.
Right, but you understand me? I can't stop the player.
Right.
So you have a point that nobody wants to give up their best youngsters. You understand me? So I can't blame a club for doing that. But what I don't want to happen is that
I agree.
The player
but the player must be, if the player is an amateur player and you can't carry an amateur player across the line where you know you want like 3 weeks before, then you're incompetent. I'm just saying there's no other word for it. You can, come on. That's like bat up and catch. If it's a professional player, it's harder, but an amateur player is a bat up and catch. You must can bat up and catch a ball.
Yeah. All right, but that's it. I got some information from the JPL that I want to give to the fans who have been crying out. All of the game them a play at town. Our man can't get to watch no match. And no respect people or country. No respect people. Game them need to go back and defend them. Man, game need to come back. All right. Cause somebody in a park, somebody in a cricket pitch, man, to play a game. Yes, man, to play a game. There's a look much good field there across from me. All right. Here's the thing. Problem solved. All right. More here if people are gonna walk them talk. Because of that the people that are complain. No spectator can go up a Captain Horace Burrell. We need spectators. All right. This week, Draxall. Let me go to the Draxall game first. Humble Lion and Mount Pleasant playing at 3 p.m. at Draxall. The ticket price, 1,000 Jamaican dollars. All right. On the same Sunday at Sabina Park, Mullines will be playing against Harborview at 3 p.m. We're going to go through the games, just giving you the prices. And Cavaliers will be going up against Arnett Gardens. All right. 5:15 p.m. We're going to talk about the matches. The ticket prices, North Stand, this is Sabina Park, $1,000. And the Campari Party Stand, $500. drink all the Campari you can, but you stand up on your feet, right? Then the Monday games. The Monday games we will see Portmore versus Tivoli at 5 p.m. and Dunby Holland versus Veer at 7:30 p.m. And the prices are 1,001 500. Also on Sunday, Mobile United will play Waterhouse at Westpow Park for $1,000. That's the entry fee. That's it. That's how it is, right, Mr. Speed?
Yes, you're 100% correct. And people come out in your tens and your thousands and support the local reggae boys, the potential local reggae boys. You'll find some reggae boys in action too, so you'll be able to see them up close and personal. People come out and support. The support is needed. Our league is the best league in the Caribbean. What other leagues starting up, we need to maintain our number one slot. As we go into the Caribbean Professional League in a couple years' time. So people come out and support it.
All right. So there you go. That's the matches and the prize. Now we are going to go through the game. All right. Somebody saying that I need to get Mr. Speed and Mr. Butler on the channel. Me and next channel I've got to do that, brother. Me can't manage the one day.
I don't know why the person want me on the channel, but I don't want to.
But I can't manage that one, brother.
And I can't manage him neither.
No, we can't manage the fight there. Brother, that's something. When the elephant fight, brother, only the grass get hurt.
There's no fight. There's no fight. There's no fight management. I do my job and the best at my ability. There's no fight.
Yeah. I'm not going to be involved myself in the elephant fight. But we're going to look at the table and then we'll go through the games, Mr. Speed.
Not an elephant. Continue.
All right, so that's a look at the table. Dunby Holland at the top of the table and 25 points. From all teams 11 games. You notice that the points has been awarded to Tivoli for that game against Veer that was not played. So this is an updated standing. Dunby Holland 25 points. Arnett second, 24 points. Arnett Gardens has not lost any of the last 5 games.
No, any of the last 10 games.
10? Yeah.
They have only lost 1 game throughout the season. They have drawn, the rest are win.
Okay, all right. And then we have Waterhouse in third place on 23 points. Then Mount Pleasant and Cavaliers tied on 19. Portmore on 14, Harborview on 13, Tivoli on 12, Malines on 10, and at the lower half of the table, Veer is also on 10, and Humble Lion is on 9 points. That is the standing on the JPL.
Sorry, your team leave off Montego Bay United. They are on 5 points.
Yes. How could I? Oh my God. Yes, people don't stone me. Mobile United, big up on yourself here, man. Mobile United have 5. Let me resize this and sing. So that we can let me get it down a little bit. Think that should have everything now. No, I gone to home standing. Oh, there you go. We should be seeing everything now.
Yes.
All right. We also have joining us the manager who is making all the waves in the JPL. Major signings, major victory in his last game. He can't stop smiling. Saw him at the stadium with his entire team, watching his player out there represent the national team.
You need him buy a ticket for his entire team?
Well, you have to tell me that. Welcome, Mr. Mother Steel, Mr. Maiten.
Yeah, I got money. Yes, I bought my own ticket for myself and my family to go into this.
The Mullines family are your immediate family.
No, man, my immediate family.
Yeah, man, but so good to have you in a new capacity. But congratulations again. What has it been like?
It's good. Yeah, man, thanks. It's good. It's quite a journey. I mean, we're doing good now, so I guess that's a good thing. Hopefully it can last for a bit longer.
Okay. All right. All right. I mean, and how have you been able to maneuver yourself in your first transfer window? What did you learn from being at Cavaliers that has helped you in this window?
Um,
don't start, because I'm still upset with him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Come on, tell me what happened.
um,
I need to hear the story.
to be honest, the window wasn't bad. I think we got some players that really wanted and can help us for this season and going forward. Um, we also parted with a few players as well. Um, so I guess there are some good and some bad. We probably missed out on maybe two players that we really would have wanted to bring in, but I think we're good enough for this season and hopefully we'll be able to finish strong and also be able to start next season on a positive note.
Yeah, and any major departures?
Yeah, man, we sold Trevor Stewart to Mount Pleasant.
Okay. You sold him to Mount Pleasant?
Uh-huh.
It sound like a lot of money came in, man. That's Mount Pleasant, you know.
A lot of money is relative, though. but
I never say, Brian, you have to realize, money is a Mount Pleasant money now. So,
yeah, man, we know.
Yes, but seeing that you're on, we're going to look at the fixtures for this week and probably talk about your team game because you have a game. You have a game this week as well. So let's look at the fixtures for this weekend and go through some of the games. Yeah. So Mullines will be going up against Harborview. Right?
Yeah, correct.
All right. So
Mullines coming off back-to-back victory. I think it's the first for the season they have ever won back-to-back games. I don't know if they have ever won back-to-back games last season either. So they're on a little run now, back-to-back victory against two good teams. Harborview luck is going the other way. They have drawn and lost a match, although they have played the league leaders. So, Mullines is on the up, as you can see.
Okay. All right. What say you, Mr. Steele?
So the truth is, we're in a not in the perfect place now, but it's not a bad place to be in. Harborview is one of those quality teams. They have three quality attacking players. Haven't quite found their scoring boots yet, and I'm hoping they don't find it this week. And like I said, we have brought in quite a few new players, young players, and they might get a chance to express themselves, and hopefully they'll make themselves and the club proud. And it should be an interesting game.
Okay, I see someone is asking. Listen, you have to put an E in the steel. You can't put man of steel. You have to put two E's in it. You can't put STEAL. Come on, man. This says they're asking if there's any player under the age of 20 in your team that we should look out for.
So far, the first three players that came in the team were all under 20. Carrick Stewart, Macon, Aldridge, Jaim Harris. And we should be introducing a few more of them this week. So I'm sure if you're at the stadium, you'll be able to see them. Or on Sportsmax.
Okay. So they are in the team. Any more signings? I mean, at the end of the window, any new signings we can look to see in the squad as you go up against Harborview?
I think a few of them will be in the squad. I'm not sure about who right now, but a few of them will be.
Okay. All right, wonderful. I also understand, I heard through the grapevine that we could see a Thorne Simpson returning from USL, playing at Mullines. They hear that there's an Antiguan who plied his trade in England, who was also coming an Antiguan national. Is that so? Or is just rumors?
We'll see, Mannings. We'll see for sure.
All right, all right. Yeah,
Well, Mullins, man, you can't hide them, so I
But the
don't know
truth
what
is, but the
man.
truth is, Tan has returned from loan. He was overseas in the USL, and he came back and has been training for a while. So
okay, you're saying, Mr. Speed?
Don't, look here. Him can't hide, So all of those things are public knowledge. If you go on Jamaica Football Database website, or if you go on FIFA JFF Connect system, it's all there. You can't hide them. So
Oh, you
it's
can't
really
hide them. So we can, people hear that you can go on JFF Connect and you'll see the transfers. See
our
all the
Jamaica Football Database.
our Jamaica football database. There you go. For those of you who want to know the transfers. But the next game on the day is the Humble Lion versus Mount Pleasant game, and I know that we could be seen at Mount Pleasant for the first time, like you have said. Let me just come back to Harborview because Jeshawn Anglin,
Mount Pleasant have Devante Stewart. Andre Fletcher from Waterhouse signed
Trevante Stewart,
and
Chevron Stewart
midfielder from Waterhouse too, and them have Jamai Topi from Cavalier. So them have a good amount of transferring.
Yeah.
Somebody just send it to me. I don't even know who.
And I also see that Joshan Anglin has returned to Harborview.
Yes.
He was in Miami, got in some issues, so it's good to see him back at Harborview. Hope he can resuscitate his career. Right, so he should be in the Harborview team, I suspect. And they also have back a player who went out on loan, former captain Johnny Talbot, as well, in that team. But they lost Siobhan McDonald to Portmore because I saw McDonald playing for Portmore. He was a midfielder out there, but he moved during the window from Harborview to Portmore United and really played well for Portmore. Right? So should be a good game. This one is going to be a tough game to call because, like I said, Harborview is probably upset about that late goal they conceded in the last game against Dumbe Holden. Though they didn't look convincing. Mullines, like I said, 2-game win streak. They're getting back young Nelson, who was in the national setup over the window. And I mean, I expect some of these players who got the looking to come into the league and show their class and thing. For some reason, with all that is happening at Mullines and stuff, I could see them nipping, Harborview in the odd goal in 3. So for this game, I'm going to go Mullines 2 and Harborview 1. It's a brave call, but that's where I'm going. I just think like the addition of these youngsters at Mullines, 2 win in a row, the first time in a long time. They have a little momentum. Salaries are being paid. You understand me? All of those things are going on, bonuses.
Them buying tickets for all the players to come to games. I mean, it's not an ordinary thing happening over there. So I'm going to agree with you to Mannings, man, and go with Mullines and forget the win. All right, or even if Mullines don't get the win, I don't expect them to lose this game. Look,
yeah.
I know Mullines people are very ambitious. I know Brian, I know Peter Higgins, who's the new chairman, very ambitious person, very talented people. Their eyes in the team in 6th position only have 14 points. So the management don't feel any way they could be eyes in that 14 points here. They have one whole round to do it. So I don't, and with their form, if they keep it up, they could still sneak in the top 6. So I'm sure that is their ambition, and I'm going to go. The players that they have brought in are really some quality young stuff, and I'm expecting, them to win the game too.
All right, so we won't ask Brian to give his prediction. We know he's going to be very moderate and say, boy, I don't want to call the shot, but we are brave enough. This is what we do every week, and we watch the teams, I think. So, but the second game is a Mount Pleasant versus Humble Lion game. And this game is very tricky because Humble Lion is one of those teams that they are very predictably unpredictable. You know what they're going to do every time they play, but you just don't know when it's going to work. And I have one key observation with them that I have not seen Dennis Taylor in their lineup. I don't know if there's a contract issue or there is some injury issue. I know that their captain Vanzi is injured. They played two young center backs in their last game because their two senior center backs are gone. Also, Mount Pleasant are going to have back players like Kevin Lane coming back. They just have Shavan Champal coming off injury as well. Like I said, they had 4 additional signings coming into that team. And one of the gaps that they needed to plug was their center forward. They have added 2 players. One is a known goal scorer in the league, that is Fletcher. They have added a number 10. Green is coming back from duties with the national team. And I just think, given all of those things and the unsurety I have with what is happening in the center of the Humble Lion defense and Dennis Taylor not being in goal, I don't have a lot of confidence in the young goalkeeper they have. So I think at home, there must be smart in Mount Pleasant from their last game that they lost 2-0 to Portmore, and they have not had a win in a long time. The fans have been calling for their head coach to be fired and sent back from whence he came. And so with all that pressure, I think that they have to come up with a win. And so I'm going to go Mount Pleasant for the first time with Topi in the lineup, keeping a clean sheet in a long time, winning this one by 2-0.
Well, Humberland is one of the stubbornest teams to defeat. Even though they have lost 4 games, they have drawn 6 and only win 1 game. So, it's one of those teams that the most likely result is a draw. I know the coach. I didn't know that Vanzi broke his leg. That's a big setback for him because he was like a quarter of the team.
Somebody just fresh got reporting that his foot is broken. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that neither.
Whoa.
So that's not good.
Yeah.
That's bad for Humberland.
Yeah.
Vanzi is somebody who's gonna take 2 red cards before the season finish, but that's really bad. He's so influential and he scores a lot of goals. Most of them is penalty, but he's a very influential player that will set them back. But knowing Andrew Price, he's gonna be looking around, trying to turn over every single stone because he's a very proud man to try and see if he can upset Mount Pleasant. These are some of the days where the coach knows that he has nothing to lose. When you play this game, you just have nothing to lose. So some of the time the team just more relaxed. And if you saw what happened with Mount Pleasant and Portmore, we thought Mount Pleasant would have won. The same thing could happen here because Mount Pleasant, Humberland is just one of those teams that don't give up. But if all those players at Mount Pleasant as bring into the team is able to play, I can see Mount Pleasant win this game. So last week I went with Mount Pleasant and I lost. I'm going to keep some faith in them this week. Again.
You know what? Last week I went against them.
And believe that they should be able to get better of Humberland without Avanzi. I haven't seen Taylor, as you have said before. Those are 2 big misses in the team, and I expect Mount Pleasant to get like an edge. It's their venue. The team is a little younger, and I think they will get the win. Yeah, I think so. By just the odd goal though, I'm not giving them a 2-0 margin.
Yeah. I see a couple of things there, which is true because Loud Music Entertainment says Humble Lion never have a good game at Draxall, and I think because of the width of that field, it produces causes a lot of problems for them. And then Rob Ximmines says, I must admit I was impressed with Topi's passing. I think he's talking about in the national setup, he's passing out of the box. Thought he had a good game there, and I'm looking forward to see how he can improve in terms of his conditioning.
Well, what I don't understand is why anybody, if they ever watch Premier League and see Topic play, when Topic played in the match against Peru, his pass completion rate was 94%. He's one of the best pass off the ball in Jamaica, playing in the defensive area. And in Premier League, that's his pass completion rate too, regularly 98%. So that shouldn't be not new, not anything new. But as I say, a lot of people just don't watch the players in Premier League and then they just say whatever they feel like saying. But we actually have some pretty decent players who can actually pass the ball.
Pass the ball, yeah.
He's one of the best.
Yeah. All right. So you're picking Mount Pleasant to win. So
Yes.
all right. So I went Mullines, you went Mullines, I went Mount Pleasant, you went Mount Pleasant.
Yes.
All right. The third game, people, we're gonna discuss. I am sure that we're gonna have differing opinions on this one. Because
What is
this
it, sir?
game, I think, is the clash of the round. I think this should have been Monday Night Football, right? That's what I think. Maybe they were trying to, and they couldn't get it to change. But
I think
this,
they were trying to, but the JFF said no. I think that was the case.
yeah, this game, Cavaliers versus Arnett Gardens. You, wherever you are, you need to leave and go and watch it, because I'm telling you, it is going to be a banger. I want to see Cephas going up against the captain of Cavaliers down the right. What is he, Ming? Versus Cephas. That is going to be something to behold. So Cavaliers versus Cavaliers versus Arnett Gardens. Arnett Gardens, like you said, on 10 games unbeaten. 10 games unbeaten. Cavaliers, in their last 5 games, 3 wins, 1 drawn result, and they lost. Right? At this point, they have 4 goals. They have scored 13, conceded 9. Arnett Gardens, on the other hand, they have scored 19 goals, 6 more than Cavaliers, and conceded 2 more goals than Cavaliers. Cavaliers have lost 4 games. Arnett has lost 1 game. Arnett has drawn 3. Cavaliers has drawn 1. So the thing is that Cavaliers, most times, they either win or they lose. Arnett either win or draw. So with all that being said, Mr. Speed.
So Arnett Garden has only lost 1 time. Funny enough, the club that they lost to was Cavalier.
The first game of the season.
First game of the season. Maybe they didn't have it going, but I admire what they have done since. They have really kept faith in their young charges, and they have added a few players from Cavalier, Airborne, and the left back. Those 2 came over from Cavalier over to Arnett. So we know them very well. So we understand, and Arnett is getting back a little of the swagger that they used to have under Jerome with. That little swagger where they just come at you. You attack them counter attack, and them counter the counter. But if people remember, we have started to have some success against them, and we're not perturbed. They have some players that used to play for us. Since this transfer window, we have a player that came over from Arnett, come over to us.
Shande Lopez. Yeah.
So, but I must tell everybody here though, before I say anything, Cavalier Arnett goals is going to score. We played a match 4-3. We have match that have been 4-2. Match that is 3-1, 3-0, 3-0. So one thing I can tell you, goals is going to score. Our team not backing up.
Cause the first game that
No,
you guys
not
played, how
backing
did
up.
it end? Was it 3-2? The first game of the season?
2-1.
2-1, yeah, 2-1. Yeah.
So you are assured that goals will score. So you people, if you want to be entertained, you can come out of this one. It's gonna be a classic transition game. Attack
Yeah.
and attack and attack. But at the end of the day, we're
Yeah.
not champions for nothing.
All right. All right. So what is your score prediction?
No, it don't matter. Because God, as I said over there, it could be 4-3, it could be 4-2, it could be 3-1, it could be 3-2. All I know is going to happen. That a lot of goals going to be scored. At the end of the day, we're going to score one more than we Arnett scored.
All right. So I see Mr. Speed picking Cavaliers, of course, for the win. I think one of the major additions at Arnett Gardens has been the addition of Eric Edwards in goal. I think that addition has made a major difference in their side because they are conceding less goals. In the 3 games that he has played, I think they have only conceded 1 goal. And so I think that has made a major difference.
No, you're correct. Before he came to Arnett was conceding they have conceded in every single game. Before he came. Yeah. Since he has been there for the 3 games, he has kept 2 clean sheets. So they definitely worked on their defense and he has made some blinding save. But it's not really nobody should be satisfied when the goalkeeper is the man of the match. Yeah, it's not really a good look when your goalkeeper is the man of the match. Just remember that I said that. Too often. It means that the people breaching your team, your defense.
Yeah. Mr. Christie is in the building. This is the man who's
smiling,
sitting easy at the top of the JPL table.
You see, last year, Mr. Christie, flattered and then deceive us at the end. He didn't make the playoffs, But so Mr. Christie went shopping and bought all the players that he could have bought to bring to the fold. He has also gotten a coach last year. So what he's doing now is making sure, like this program, I am sure he's making sure that when the playoff come around, he's there.
He's there, yes.
Chances. So he has just upped into the lead now at the end of the first round. And why this is significant, man, is because, remember I was saying to you earlier and say, listen, everybody didn't play everybody. Some people played some weak teams, some people play all a strong teams. So there was a difference. But after 1 round, you can see the people who have intent to win this title. And it's slowly starting to prevail here. The people who have the intent to win this title. You start to see them now. And Dundee clearly is a title contender. No longer a pretender. They are now a contender.
Sir Christie, the one say, call me the great pretender. Go ahead, Mr. Christie. What say you?
Well, over at Dunbowling, we have learned a lot of hard lessons. We are just constantly trying to improve. We have learned even from our defending champion, my very good friend, Mr. Speed, and we have spoken at length. He has taught me a few things. I have listened to my coach, Mr. Harold Thomas, who has actually coached me from high school, Dakar at Dinfield. And the thing about it, we are not afraid to ask the probing question and make unpopular decisions. And we are just trying to learn and improve. We are blessed with some good fortune and some good luck. But make no bones about it. We have worked hard and continuously working hard, and we are getting some favorable results, and I'm happy for that. I'm really happy for that. And I don't know if I'm able to comment on the Arnett.
Yeah, man. Of course. That's where we're at, man. Go ahead, man.
All right. If you remember last week when I had predicted a trial draw, however, it could have happened. Maybe more goals should have scored. But you remember me carefully telling you guys about that left side of Arnett Gardens with
Ajuma Johnson and Cephas.
Ajuma Johnson and Cephas. And basically that proved to be the X factor in the game. Waterhouse right side was just not able to contain that side of the field, and that basically was the reason. And I saw that coming. I thought Barnet was the better team on the day. They had about 4 other chances, while I can remember Eric making maybe one full save and maybe a half save after that. So if they were actually taking their chances, Arnett would have still come out on top of the game. As it relates to Mr. Speed, don't take his confidence lightly. He has been doing his homework on Arnett Garden. He's aware. If you listen to the influences that he's making about their goalkeeper and him be the man of the match, he's basically pointing out that pointing out the frailties in the Arnett Gardens defense line, and it actually is still there. And yes, Eric is coming up big and in some games. However, you will have some chance that the goalkeeper just won't be able to save, so you can't be exposing your goalkeeper like that. So he's right, and I think that is where he's zooming in on their defensive frailty. I can tell you, you might be seeing the Thomas and the Webster and Atkinson going at Arnett at lane. And he might very well just break them.
So what is your score prediction?
I think that it might be a 3-2 winning in terms in favor of Arnett. I'm not Cavaliers.
Yeah.
I think it might be a 3-2.
I stand alone in this, but Arnett Garden is going to reverse the thing. The only game they have lost this season is to Cavaliers at the beginning of the season. I think they are going to turn this one around on Cavaliers. I think Cavaliers are going to suffer their third loss of the season.
No, I've lost 4 games already.
Yeah, right. They have lost 4 games. Yeah, so I think the form that Arnett Gardner is on right now, they are going to win this one. I think. I just have this feeling that this is going to be a 2-1 result the other way around this time.
Might I say though, if Arnett should get past this Cavaliers team, then the record, which is I think is 14 game unbeaten, will be under serious threat. I can tell you that from right now.
That's a record. Where you get that record from?
The Premier League record is, I think, is it our Waterhouse or Arnett have that record. The 14 game unbeaten. One of those teams have that record, and that will be under serious threat that they should get past this Arnett Garden, this Cavalier team. I stand corrected. You can double check Mr. Speed, but I think that's the record, 14 games.
I don't.
All right, so let me get a couple more. Chris Wayne says Arnett versus Cavalier, game of the week. Arnett going to take down the champions, so Cavaliers have to be prepared, which I know TD Speed already knows. To get it hot. Romario Lawrence says, I am so excited about this game. Busy and Webster needs to come to the party.
And they're overdue, so they might just come.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of overdoing there. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of overdoing. There's a lot of overdoing in this game.
Overdue.
This game will be entertaining. However, the final score might not be as forthcoming and predictable as we might be looking at. I might assume it. Trust me. This one, there was a time that Cavalier owned Arnett Gardens, and I think They want to continue that. However, Arnett Garden, you see, Waterhouse used to own them for excess of 6 years. They have turned around that now. So there's a lot of pride at stake. There's a lot of this a little mini rivalry developing between Arnett and Cavalier. I'm been speaking with the Arnett Gardens people, and I know that they have a lot of respect. However, they are not fearful of Arnett Gardens, so that will definitely be a humdinger
Yep.
down by the Sabina Park
Yeah, man.
this weekend.
Mr.
I will
Christie.
be there.
Yeah, man. Somebody sent, Sir Christie, where is the names on your jersey that you promise your fans?
Yeah, Christy, what the name?
Can I be just brutally frank?
Yes.
Truth of the matter, we're struggling for money. That is the
No,
reality.
but no, Christy, you can't change the squad again. So you can put the names them on now. But you can't change the squad again now. Transfer window closed.
Close, yeah.
Yeah. So nobody with
So
that.
the same people are going to play in the jerseys because the window is closed. No more window.
Yeah.
All right. You have raised a valid point. I'll be getting back to my technical and executive team and raise that point, and hopefully that in very, very short order we should have that addressed.
But you can use crack and peel, you know, man. You can use crack and peel, you know. And put them on the jersey and then take them off. If you feel like, you understand me? But we need the names, man, because we need to know the players and get familiar with them and all of that. You understand me? Because I may know them, but yeah. But
you are correct.
Loud Music Entertainment says, even though it is only 12 teams, the league is really interesting. And then Romario Lawrence says, Colin Anderson directness could be pivotal in this match. Earl Simpson, the roster, very erratic sometimes. Plus, Gerald Neal will play right back to try contain Atkinson. By the way, Webster going to be man of the match. All right, this looks like a Cavalier fan right here. All right, not a problem, boss.
I am telling you, sir, this Cavalier team is trying to find their second gear now.
Yeah.
I know that they are not going to take this Arnett Gardens team lightly. If Arnett come and face all out attack, they'll definitely get hurt. I can tell you that. If they come and play all out attack, Cavalier will counter punch them.
Yeah. All right.
There's no, if they come and play, all right. Earlier on in the season, you know, Arnett Gardens main problem was their naivety, that they just come and try and attack and they didn't keep the shape very well and all of that. Don't think they will try to do that to Arnett Gardens. So Cavalier, they will show them some respect. So, but they have a tendency though. You know, each team have an identity and a tendency. They have a tendency to keep coming at the team that will play into Mr. Speedza. If they can play, that makes them dull and boring game and slow down the game. They will beat Cavalier. However, if they come and that high intensity, high press game, Cavalier will hurt them.
Yeah, I see. Kevin Reed says Cavaliers for me money. So, but the next game though we're going to jump to is Montego Bay United getting their first opportunity to play at their home ground, which is all the way down there at Westport Park. Because one of the things that they have said is about the fact that they have traveled into Kingston for all their games. So now Waterhouse will have to travel out of town to play Mobile United at Westport Park. So Western Jamaica, Montego Bay, go and support the team because they are lingering at the bottom of the table and they need to make a move. You understand me? I can't say they have made any key additions to their squad based on what I've seen so far. But playing at home, you know, you never can tell. And then you have the Waterhouse team who is coming off a loss. I can't remember when last Waterhouse has lost 2 games in a row in the league. So it just seemed like it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Waterhouse won't lose 2 in a row. and Mobile United, I don't think they want to lose their first home game in front of their fans that they are trying to win over. So I think that this is going to be a draw, but like it is. I think it's going to be a draw with Montego Bay escaping because of the home crowd. But they are going to be peppered. They're going to be peppered by this Waterhouse team, but manage somehow to pull off a draw.
Man, this is not a comedy show, you know.
All right, go ahead and tell me. Go ahead. You can talk.
Let me tell you the facts. Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead. I'll give you a first.
Listen, man, the reality of the matter, the only way Waterhouse don't come back to Kingston with full 3 points is if the arrogance get in the way and they leave Kingston like 9, 10 o'clock Saturday morning and they are very jagged. And knowing Mr. Marcel Gaze, he is not an arrogant fella. He will do whatever needs to be done, and he has the support of the executive of the Waterhouse. They might even wake up in St. James on Sunday, and if they travel earlier, wake up in the parish, Montego Bay won't be there.
You remember what happened in the first game with Montego Bay United and Waterhouse?
Hold on, gentlemen. That was a different Montego Bay team than this time. Their X factor was the fellow by the name of Atti. The last game he played was against Dunbowling, and he was giving us a handful there. Since then, Montego Bay does not have that imposing figure. He's
still there. He has recovered from injury here, and he's going to be. And I see Peso saying that this player that he wanted to get to Cavaliers that Mr. Speed couldn't sign, couldn't afford the fee. He's now at Mobile United. Christoph Murray. They have Courtney Allen. And I think this was a game that the Waterhouse captain got injured in that first.
Not the captain, Mr.
Was it Beans? I think Beans got injured in this
game. Yeah, it was the Beans that got the fracture in his face,
Yeah. So it will be interesting, but go ahead, Mr. Speed, because you were telling me that this is not a comedy show, so go ahead.
So for instance, just to look, somebody once told me you're always as good as your record. When a team going to get into trouble is when you look at their record, you ever hear about the great Newcastle case? You should study it, right? Anybody in football don't study the Newcastle case. Remember the time Newcastle came 5th in the Premier League, they give the coach a 8-year contract, all the staff a 8-year contract, them said them already. They didn't realize that they had a +1 goal difference for the whole season. So that means if you're lucky, you could finish there, and they were very lucky throughout the season. Referee called everything. But anyway, Montego Bay has scored 7 goals since the start of the season. 1 more than Veer Technical, who was the worst offensive line in the league. They have conceded 20 goals, right?
Waterhouse the best record.
2 more than Mullines, who was like a sieve in the early part of the season. Waterhouse, on the other hand, have scored 21 goals and only conceded 8. The team with the best defense in the league. So it's best defense against the worst offense.
Who are the best offense, Mr. Speed? Is it them Mount Pleasant? Waterhouse.
And Waterhouse also have the best offense.
Best offense,
so it's the best offense against the worst defense, and the best defense against the worst offense.
Yeah.
One way going.
We see stranger things than these happen, but
that is why we play the game. But
this is why we play the game.
In this case, Waterhouse going to come with everything, including the kitchen sink, to get back to winning ways. And I don't see it going any other way. I think of the top 5 team, Waterhouse have the easiest passage to get 3 points, and they're gonna get it and make sure so they put pressure on the rest of the team that is there.
All right. I am sticking to my guns. I'm going Mobile United.
I would love for that to happen, doing Mannings, man. I would love for that to happen to Montego Bay to hold them. But that is just my emotional side. The football logic side say that Waterhouse have too many weapons and they don't make a lot of mistakes. And to me, personally, Waterhouse goalkeeper was either the second or maybe the bad and the better keeper for the season, for the first round. They have a good, solid all-round team.
Oh, he's actually a very good keeper, but he suffers from having a backline that don't protect him a lot. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I see here, Peso just saying that Ati is still injured. He said he spoke to the coach down there this morning, and Sports on the Ball says Mobi team are garbage and the players them don't good. Not at all. He said from I know Mobi are the worst them ever assembly, worst team them ever assembly. Mr. Powell head good at hot him bad right now.
And that's why I tell Mr. Powell say, nah, but I have trouble.
All right, but let's see. Professional. We will answer this question about promotion and relegation at the end of the show. That will be the last thing we just quickly respond to. So let's just go through the rest of the fixtures. We have the next game is Portmore United coming off a 2-0 victory over Mount Pleasant, playing against Tivoli Gardens, who suffered defeat also over the weekend. So Portmore coming off a win, Tivoli not looking good. I mean, I watched that Tivoli game and I was disappointed because they just look a little bit disorganized. I think they have an aging squad. Portmore seem to be in a rhythm right now. Doing some good stuff. Like I said, they added a guy called Siobhan McDonald. The Haitian that they have playing forward, is a speedster playing well. The defense line has looked better. Siegel Knight has come back in midfield there, and he has been playing well. So centrally they are looking better. But Tivoli is one of those teams that when they get it right, they're hard to beat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is a tough one for me to call. I could see this one ending in a 1-1 scoreline. And that's going to be my prediction.
It could end in a draw, but what I've seen of Tivoli, I thought they were just off balance in the game that played against Cavalier. Portmore, though, because of their passing game, it could upset Tivoli a lot if the players keep going at that passing game. And if Tivoli, remember, Portmore scored one of their goals from a counter-attack.
Yes.
So again, they will have pace over Tivoli. They have more pace. So the counter-attack is always going to be a problem. And I just think that Tivoli have a spacing problem in how they keep the structure and they keep the side, together. So I have always written off Portmore sometime because I know the struggles that they are going through to rebuild the team. But if you look on some of the biggest scalps in the game, Portmore has taken them. Beat Mount Pleasant. So based on where Tivoli is, and based on the teams that Portmore had beaten earlier in the season, I think Portmore is the one running into some form. And we might have to look at the game that Portmore won't lose. I believe the game will either draw or Portmore get a win because I didn't like how Tivoli looking at all. So that's my prediction.
What
all
say?
Right,
yeah.
I was at the Mount Pleasant Portmore game, and I was sitting with my coach, and I was pointing out to him that, listen, look at the game. Mount Pleasant is playing as if they own the game. However, look at all the challenges. Portmore is winning every 50-50 ball, turning from 60-40 into 50-50, and it's pressing better than the Mount Pleasant team. I say this to say that if they approach the Tivoli game with that same identity, Tivoli might be in for some problem because their defense line and their holding midfield is not very mobile, and they are suffering from a little bit of aging. The pace might get the better of them. However, when Tivoli is on song, they come at you as well, They can come at you. They have a few men up front who can score goals. They just don't do it on a regular basis. But based on the last game that I saw of both teams, I would be inclined to give the Portmore team the edge on this one.
Yeah. Let me tell you what I think. I didn't like something that Tivoli did, which is they had Steve Wright playing holding midfield. That's how they set up their team, and then they had Anderson and Captain Barrington Price playing centre back.
All right, look at that defense line.
Right.
You put a ball in the channel where that is. If a team understand and put a ball in that channel, then Tivoli will always be in problem.
There you go.
Those Portmore players, especially the Asian, they are blessed with some form of speed and youth and agility.
And
that's
see with
the reason
the
why
guy
I would be
called McFarlane as well. He's very fast. So they're also, I don't know if Pennycook, because one of the key players in the Tivoli defense is a youngster who's called Pennycook, who has been injured for a while. So when I watched that game, I felt like Tivoli should have played a back three. I think if Tivoli can find a way of playing a back three, they would be better defensively. I think with the pace of their defender, if Pennycook is not going to be playing, I don't see how they survive playing a back two with those 18 defenders.
Hold on. Let me explain something. Trust me. I have a coach playing against Tivoli Gardens with those 18 back three. All I would say to my players, keep the ball on the ground, use the channel, use the pockets, use the channel, keep these players moving, keep them running. And just all I need for you to do is to get these defenders running, get them running. Because they can't do it over 90 minutes sustainable period. Their best chance is to play two wing backs. They can't go see right Bobo and Price. Disaster. If it won't happen, that's like pedestrian pace. Who is there to make
they can't play.
Hold on. This Portmore play you make a two pass from in Portmore half. They're at the top of the 18. The ball come through the channel. Which one of those three players will be able to turn around and recover?
No, but when you're playing a back three, you also have the option of turning that in a back five in defense. I am saying that because the players, if you look at the goals that they conceded in the game, the ball, they had no designated, because none of them are quick enough to sweep or to offer coverage when the ball come down any of those channels, because it is two of them. Saniki Anderson, I think his name is, and Barrington Price. So I think what they can do is have
Wellington.
No, man. No, I'm not talking about Wellington. Anderson and Price. What I'm saying, they need to have somebody who plays there almost like a sweeper to cover, because those two are too slow. And I think only that's my thought. So because the Portmore team is very nippy on the counter, that's how they scored. Both of their goals against Mount Pleasant came from plays that Mount Pleasant had in their half and lost the ball, and it was 1, 2, 3, bam, counter, bam, and defeated them. The goals that Tivoli conceded, one of them was from a counter as well. The other one was mishandling between the goalkeeper and the centre back, no communication because they were tracking back. So that's how I do it. But I could see them rebounding, getting things right, and getting a draw result out of this game. So still going with a draw, although Shem Jackson said her money is on Portmore, and she thinks that Sigel Knight, who I thought played excellent against Mount Pleasant, very good midfielder, she believes that he is going to score. So Mr. Speed, you said that you're picking Portmore. Mr. Christie, who you picking for that game and what score?
All right. Listen, before I bet the prediction, Mr. Phillips is a smart coach, and I think those priorities, he might very well be able to look at them. And I can remember when Dumbolin played Tivoli, that was they were hard to break, and they just keep coming at you. However, most of those players, the Bobo, the Dasha Sashrel, Only Price who was an agent, Steve Wright was on the field. None of those players. They had some young player who was just keep coming at you. They were coming at you, and it made it very difficult for them bowling that game. Yeah. However, you know, coaches have sentiments and all of those things. Those three players can't be on the field at the same time. That's just the fact. If they sort out the defensive problem, then they are good enough to beat this Portmore team. If not, if they make that mistake, Portmore will definitely beat them. If you keep Steve Wright, Price, Dasha Sastrell, and Bobo on the field at the same time, Portmore will definitely beat them.
All right. The final game, and then we'll take some of the questions from the persons in the comment section. In closing, the final game, we will see high flying, top of the table. The
winningest team.
The Galacticos.
The winningest team with 8 victory.
Yes,
and a striker who has scored 10 goals from 10 games.
Yes, Don't Beholden versus Veer. Na, they would say. Talk to us, Mr. Christie. You get to go first.
Before him go. Before him go. Veer United has scored 6 goals from the season start. The worst defensive team in the country.
Offensive team.
Worst offensive team in the country. Normally, when they do so bad with their offense, they are able to back it up by having either the best or the second best defense in the country. That is not so this year. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 5 teams who have better defensive record than Veer in this edition. So Veer is definitely not the team that they were last year, or the teams have found a way to sort out Veer this year. They have conceded more than 1 goal per match, which is not so good. So Dunboyne on the other hand has won 8 games. They have won the most games. They have lost 2, but they have won 8. So they don't draw games either, you know. They win or they lose, but they win more time. And they have always found a way to win, even in the 96 minutes, 90 plus minutes, they have always found a way to win. Mainly because they have this big number 9 by the name of Bygrave, who is unstoppable in the league since last year. And I expect that to continue. Veer will play and try to hold them out, but Dunbeholden going to find that winner by the hook or by the crook. They're going to find that winner. So, Christy.
Yeah. All right, go ahead now, Mr. Christie, smiling over there, so talk to us.
Well, let me first start by saying this. We don't want any form of complacency or arrogance creep into our game, and I must salute Mr. Thomas and his technical team to ensuring that does not happen. The truth of the matter, Dunboyne does not score a lot of goals. We are trying to improve in that department. I think Mr. Bygrave would have scored more than 50% of our goal. One player is responsible for more than 50% of our goals. So you see, we don't score a lot of goals. We are trying to improve in that. We are trying to improve in that department. However, I think if Dunboyne comes to the game, follow the coach's instruction and execute, they will get the better of this year team. However, the game is played on the field. All indication is that Dunboyne should win. However, we can't underestimate the value of Mr. Duki and his wizardry and his cunningness as a coach. All indication is showing that Dunboyne should be winning this game, but guess what? This is why we play the game. I will be giving the Dunboyne an edge to win this one, but it won't be as clear cut as as we want to make it out to be. If you look at the at Dumbolin Farm, of the 8 games, only one game, one single solitary game, Dumbolin has won with more than 1 goal. Every game that they have won is just by the odd goal. So they don't score a lot of goals. So we are trying to improve in that department, but I think Dumbolin will do just enough to get the double.
Yeah. I mean, have you made any additions? I mean, the window is closed now. Can we expect to see any new additions going forward?
We don't have any money for Mr. Management.
They don't take money, man. Take contacts.
Man, him don't need no addition, man. Him the amount of people him buying at the first. No, but you buy Saniki Bird in this window, so don't say that.
Oh yes, you're so right. Oh, the return of Sonny Burton back to Dumbolin.
You have to watch him carefully.
And who else? Sonny Burton and one more. And McGregor came in as well.
Peter McGregor. All right. Listen, I think this game is going to. When I think, I always tell people, tactically, Donovan Duke is very sound. They're not going to concede a lot of goals, so I see this ending probably Dumbolin 1, 0-0. He's going to make it very difficult because that's how he is. You're going to have to earn the point. So I pick in Dumbolin to win because I think offensively they have too much. Nicar Christian is playing well. The Mario Phillips playing well. Fabian McCarthy playing well. Bygrave playing well. Peter McGregor playing well. I mean, yeah. So that's how I see that one going. Damian Hyatt in goalkeeping, clean sheet after clean sheet. So I'm going with Dumbolin for the win as well. And so we'll see how many, of these predictions we'll get. But Mr. Speed, principal of football, is asking this question that I'm going to ask you to respond to. You are Mr. Christie. He's saying that what is happening as it relates to relegation and promotion and the Super League?
I'll yield to Mr. Speed for that one. He's very well positioned to give Jamaica all the details on that one.
Whereas there's no, well, let me not say there's no such thing as Super League. No team will be relegated from the Premier League this year. There's a Tier 2 league supposed to start this year, which we have identified 12 teams, and they are supposed to start the Tier 2. 2 teams from that competition will come to the Premier League, so the Premier League should be 14 teams next year. Let me just put it like that. It should be 14 teams next year. So the Tier 2 is the second highest competition in the country. After that, you're going to have parish competition. So the teams will play in their parishes. The winner of the parishes will play off, and the best 2 teams will come to the Tier 2. So that is what is going to happen from here on in. As soon as we have 16 teams in the Tier 1 and 18 teams in the Tier 2, then teams will be relegated from the Premier League and or Tier 2, go back to their parish league. So that is the 3 tier of competition that will be in Jamaica: the parish league, Tier 2, and Tier 1.
Okay, all right. Hope that answers your question, Sir Pro Football. All right. The other question is, Mr. Christie, is one. Travis Pesser is asking if MP Fitz Jackson is a part of the club. I guess because they have up earlier, what they are suggesting is that he can bankroll the team. So they're asking if he's a part of the club. I don't. You're taking a little while to respond, man. Like you don't want to tell us something.
All right. Mr. Jackson had made it very clear earlier on that before I even say anything, he's the chairman of the club. However, to be fair to him, he has made it very clear that based on his other obligation, he won't be able to be actively engaged in certain aspects of the club. We understand and we respect that. However, we are not going to sit here and make any excuse. We are still trying to figure out a way to get it done and just try to move forward in the best way possible and live with whatever results we get. I don't know if I answer your question satisfactorily.
But what I can say, you could do very well in politics, man. Mr. Speed, this question is for you. Sir Speed, when will we see Omar Leng representing Cavaliers? Mr. Speed seems to be muted.
You might mute Mr. Speed.
Tier 1 being the new Premier League. You hear us, Mr. Speed?
Yes, Omar Leng. Yes, he's at Cavalier.
No, yeah, man. We know that he's at Cavaliers. I think.
You're not seeing him this week. Next week.
Okay. All right, cool. And then Principal here is asking if the Tier 1 being no Premier. Yeah, the Tier 1 is the Premier League. Mm-hmm. Right, Mr. Speed, and Tier 2 would be the second. Tier 2 would be.
We don't have a name for it yet, but that tier. And then Tier 2 will be the parish league. So everybody going to get a chance still to get promoted and relegated in one of the leagues. Now, if a parish have a lot of teams, the parish might decide to have 2 leagues they can have 2 leagues instead of just 1 league.
Okay, whatever they want to call it, they can have 2 competition and have their own promotion and thing in there.
In the parish.
Like for Kasama, for example, they can still have Super League and Major League.
No, they can still have Major League and like Division 1.
So there was something going around that we're going to take away people's franchise. It's not true. We don't need anybody. Everybody will still be able to play in a league. The only stipulation we have for now is that when you come to the Tier 2 and Tier 1, you must have a club license, or else we're not allowing you to play.
Okay. The other question is, what do you guys make of the local players who represented the Reggae Boys in the window that just closed? The 3 games, a couple of them, well, more than a couple, because couple is 2, got an opportunity to play for the national team, making debuts. I mean, from your club and from other clubs they were there. They played against El Salvador, Canada, and also against Honduras.
Well, Paul could go.
One win, one loss, and a draw.
I didn't get to watch any of the games. I was traveling over.
All right. Listen, let me start from the first game with King, Daniel Green, Bygrave, and who is the next player again?
Howell came on in that game.
Howell. The thing that I observed and give me a lot of courage is that, sometimes the term coach I get to play a game. No, that's not what I saw. I saw players out there playing as if they belong, and it encouraged me a lot when I see our local players going out there, being a part of the unit, impacting the game. If you Daniel Green had a few close ones against El Salvador. The goal that was scored, the equalizer, was from Bygrave. It started from Bygrave, and it up in Canada, Mr. Nelson started the game with Mr. Bygrave. And they played as if, yes, we are a part of the unit. The team is playing good, attractive football, but we were always up against Canada, meaning that Canada needed a result from the game. They brought us below 0 temperature. Some players is the first time they're traveling, better yet, traveling at below 0 degree. We were always going to be up against it where that is concerned. We are not playing for anything, while Canada is actually playing. That game, our game was a game that qualified Canada officially. So, we were always up against it. However, the lads gave a very good account of themselves. We come back to Jamaica against this Honduran team, you can see there's a lot of what you'd call, Mr. Speed, camaraderie, people like connecting. I listen, I hear people talking about Ravel Morrison, how he is putting it all out there. However, you have Daniel Green, you have Tope, who is a local player as well. They are playing out there as if, and you have Richard King. It's like they understand what they play. It's not like the coach having players out there just keeping the shape and knocking post. They understand what they are playing, and you can see the transition from offense to defense, and people playing and moving in the channel. People not playing with the ball as if the ball is at all like they just want to get rid of the ball. People actually playing the football. The football look a little bit more attractive right now, and if we can just tweak the defense line just a little bit more, and move forward with this philosophy, I think that we are on to something good. And for the first time, because what I did like in past years is like you don't treat the locals as part of the team. You only use them when the overseas players not available. And sometimes the truth of the matter, some of these overseas players, one, they don't have any identity with the team. Two, they're not very better than the local players. And three, they don't come with the commitment. Yeah? So the mix and energy that I am seeing now, I like it. I see Leon Bailey running as if he's just started playing for Jamaica. I see Daniel Green up and down the flank, up, down, in, out, moving into the pockets. And he looks like a player that we can build with. You understand? He's a local. There was a lot of separation between Daniel Green on the left and Leon Bailey on the right. You understand? The blend, it's not a case that you could have said, oh, that player is actually an international player. That's why the local player look like two or three steps behind. That was not the case. They look like a team, and you could hardly tell who was international from who was local. And I like that.
All right. We're going to take the comment from Principal of Football. I think that one is for Mr. Speed because he's going to be a part of club administration. But one thing I'll say though, Mr. Christie, it's going to be very difficult to measure. I always say this, one of the things that is hard for us to ever measure is to say which player is more committed than the other, because commitment is hard to measure, right? Because I'll give you an example. I use this example to discuss what are the things that happened. It was brought to light on the platform yesterday when I did an interview with a player called Leon Minot. And he shared this story, right? He said that he and Paul Young were at a club called Rochester Rhinos. And Paul Young was on a very lucrative contract. He said that both of them were called up to come to the Jamaica team qualifying for the World Cup, right? He opted not to come because he felt like the what he had to give up, and he had a young family, it wasn't feasible. So he stayed. Paul Young gave up his contract, played in the qualifiers, but never went to the World Cup. After the World Cup, he had to renegotiate his contract at the Rochester Rhinos and he took a substantive cut to even re-sign. Say, for example, he was earning $100. He had to end up taking $25 instead. All right? Mm-hmm. What is the point I'm getting to? So when a player, for example, let's use Bygrave as an example. When Bygrave goes into the national team, say he gets $2,500 per game or whatever. When a player comes from England, and I'm going to use one, Naira Nosworthy. Naira Nosworthy came to Jamaica and played, and he gave up some money. He gave up a lot of money to come and play. He got injured, and from that point, he has never gotten it back. He got injured at the National Stadium in a game. So when you look at it, can you say a player who is moving from getting 30,000 a month or 50,000 a month to 2,500 a month, right? Can you understand it's hard to measure commitment when a next player who is earning 10,000 say pounds a week comes to play for 2,500 US and gets hurt or gets injured and loses contract or gets displaced or he has to determine his position in the club, how that is going to be. So when you look at it that way, it's hard. I think the other points you make are very important, but I don't know if we can measure commitment because they are two different kind of things.
So,
hold on.
man,
Before you jump
before
in,
you go, Paul, before you go, Paul, sorry, because I need to step in here. Man, it's the same argument we start the program with him. Players
Yeah.
have
I wasn't on the board. I wasn't on the program as we were. Listen, hold on, gentlemen. Let us be brutally frank. Listen, if we don't want to have brutally frank commitment, I sometimes I just don't know how to be anything other than brutally frank. You know. Look at Antonio. Antonio came here. Antonio did not need to be here. Even one at the time when it appears if not going to qualify, he still came here and he won out everything. Yeah. Look at what's the number 10 name again?
Ravel Morrison.
Ravel. Look at Ravel yesterday, and this was the same. You know, let me leave that alone. But look at his commitment. But I saw that player from we played Saudi Arabia. You know, I saw that player. You see that player that we are seeing now. I saw that player from we went to Saudi Arabia and played a 2-game practice match. I am saying this is our creative player. That's it, Ravel Morrison. So I know that something wasn't right with somebody didn't get it right. And some, I don't know if it was ego or selfishness or arrogance for that player. But we did not get it right and we had the players. Yeah, and some people, I'm straying from the point of commitment. But listen, Ravel of Derby to go play against Preston Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. You see that player was playing as if one eye was over by Derby. Preston, let us be brutally frank where that player was playing. Derby playing Preston North End, 9 o'clock Saturday morning. You see that player was playing as if he was having one eye on that game. That's the type of commitment I'm talking about. Listen, man, everybody know that you can get injured and damaged even in a warm-up session. So if that, I can't subscribe to that. We all are aware of that. But guess what? When you come to play. Don't want it.
So I was going to add, man, it's unfortunate that it happened to the baller, what you said. But this is a new era. I mean, to me, you remember what I said before? People keep on saying people must do this and people must do that. But if players have their agents, when they are signing their contracts, they must make sure that at that particular time when the club want the player, everything is put in the contract. So how comes I don't hear? I remember during the COVID era, people were saying that the Argentina is not going to get to play in that match because the European club said they never go. Did anybody from Argentina look at those big clubs? Them just jump on the jet and just go play for them country, right? So it's just we are Jamaica because we have the inept agent them who sign a contract where people are stopping you from play for your national teams. Who can stop Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi from play for their national team? Give me one next big baller. Who can stop them from playing for the national team?
But they want to play. That's the point I'm making.
No.
They want to play.
It's not just the point. I'm saying that they are covered within their contracts. Right?
Wherever you play on the football field.
Yeah, nobody can cut them pay. So what we need to do is get good agents to represent our player. So when anything like that happens, they are protected. Right? So nobody can victimize them. And as I said before, we keep on running around so everybody know about football. But that's a part of the game. Protect your player. So when it comes to, as I said, I don't even think Messi then listen to nobody who talk about Europe now send them players. Them just take them jet and go play them, go where them go. So that's one of the points I make. So the other point is, you say whosoever the gaffer for one national team, must make the players them know say Jamaica is not a toilet. Here them cannot use it when them feel like them come to play. Either you go and come all the time or don't come at all. Stay
But
or
I
you
heard the coach
guard.
say that, and I have serious respect for that, Mr. Speed. Listen, man, we know that one of the problem is where in the world you go and you have. I saw Panama, 11 strangers on the field against Panama. You understand? They
No,
want
man,
quality out there now, but
Mr.
no.
Chris, we having two different conversations because we don't want problem. Because what I'm saying that the team selection has nothing to do with commitment.
Yes,
That's all I'm
because
saying.
because you can know if somebody is committed. Because if every time you call them, then give your excuse when a practice game, but as soon as a Gold Cup and World Cup qualifying in
them
there,
ready.
you
Them
know,
not
so they're not
taking their
committed.
product
No,
seriously.
all right, no one that I understand, but follow me, Mr. Chris. You're saying that the strangers in the Panama game, this is the first game, that had nothing to do with commitment. That had to do with poor
But hold
team.
on, but it actually is a part of commitment, though. Why
No,
we have
man.
There's a thing to say. There's a thing to say. You can't measure
No.
commitment.
You have to explain. No,
You
hold on,
can't
let me
measure commitment in a
explain
lot
to
of ways.
me what the Panama game at the
Mr.
office,
Christian, not there now.
first home game, had to do with commitment in Ghana, because that had nothing to do with commitment. The selection of the team was obviously off. That was the problem. That was the problem because of the whole how the window work in that thing. And so you put players who weren't playing together too. That was the worst thing. I don't think that's a commitment thing, even if you're going to question commitment. But let me move to this because the conversation is now getting for now. But how do you go about obtaining a club license? I represent a club who was in the Super League and I'm being asked to assist with administrative stuff. But I'll help if there's black and white where I can read and know exactly what to do and where to go. So this person, he said that he used to be part of a Super League club. He's been asked to help with some administrative stuff. So yeah, what does he need to do? Where can he get it in black and white?
So he should go to his parish association, whichever parish he's in. The instruction was passed down to the parish of what you need to do. There's actually a document that was prepared called a gradation that you're supposed to fill it out and know, what your grades are, etc. There's a certain amount of steps that you're supposed to take, and you must be a part of the FIFA Connect system. In other words, you must be on it, you must put on your players' on it, you must have a limited liability company, you must have a bank account. All of that is in black and white. Your parish association has it, so you need to talk.
All right, so principles of football, just talk to your parish FA and thing. And some of the people are agreeing with me. The Panama game, I can understand, for example, if a player...
No, but I am not saying I agree. I'm just saying there's a lot of ways for you to measure commitment, right?
Okay, but the Panama game is not one. That's when I make that
clear.
No,
I wouldn't say that. As a matter of fact, they look like they were committed. All of them come.
That's my point. So that's why I couldn't agree with Mr. Christie saying that.
But you have players. But you see, we need from now to figure out who is committed by who is willing to come when things not so rough, when it's going not so good. Who is willing to come, and who is willing to. So like even now, based on the excuses that you would have gotten from some players who did make themselves available to come now, you could use that as one form of judging the commitment of each individual player. Because before that, right. Also, you could use the amount of the efforts that they put out in each game, because there's measurement, it's not like say, you can know who can serve, so there's things that you can use to decide. Remember, it's always a judgment call, but there's a lot of things you can use to decide if the person is coming back.
Yeah, here's what I agree. If Paul Hall calls up a player, any player, whether you're born in Jamaica or America or England, and your excuse for coming is that this is a joke game, when you're playing serious game, I'll come. That cannot be the attitude. But I also understand that personally, if I'm Mikel Antonio, as an example, this is me, this is my opinion, and say Jamaica has an open window to play a friendly game, and West Ham have a European League game, and the coach called me, I am still saying to the coach, listen, can I be exempt from this because a European game? I have to come back to a European game. You know, I struggle with injuries, but I will make myself available. The coach could still say, well, you understand me, but I would say that within that, there has to be some sort of leeway again, and it has to be based on the excuse, because there are times when Leon Bailey is so injury prone, coming off an injury, and you may call him and he says, listen, I am at the point now where I'm trying to secure my place in the club. All right, it's a friendly game. Can I be exempt? And if the coach can say yes or no. But I think there are times.
It's not even it even more black and white than that, because if it's a FIFA window, there's no club game going on.
Okay, right, that is true.
So the player could come and say, coach, just give me. The player could still come and say, coach, me don't want to play more than 30 minutes because I will be in my rehabilitation. I don't want to play more than an hour. Make the coach now decide if him use him or not. But I don't think any player have the right to just turn down the invitation, blanket, and say, me not come out because of this or that. If it's a FIFA window, and the coach call you, must turn up. So when you turn up, you have physio, everybody check you out, and you tell them, talk to your physio or your medical people or your club, them talk, then come to some agreement. All right, you know something, if you don't need him, don't make him play. Because
yeah, and I also think the coaches have to do that as well, because certain windows, what I don't want people is like, say for example, Paul Hall comes in May and get a game against, say, Martinique. He may opt not to call certain players because he may be looking at a different set of players. So, but the people who don't know that now are going to say, you see we play against Martinique and then man, they don't come on them, man. But sometimes you don't know. The coach may be looking at one group of players for a particular window. So don't take it to mean when you don't see a player in the team unless it is said that it is a commitment issue. What if him don't choose to call King because him see a Johnny Talbot and him want to bring it? You understand me? So sometimes a coach can do that, you know. And when people don't see certain people, they begin to question those things. But if it is a FIFA window, I agree with you that come represent the country if you are being called up, and then you can talk to the coach about the amount of minutes you can play, because you understand me, and then let that happen. But I think there has to be some discretion. But I'm afraid of this.
The medical people must talk to the medical people. So then the medical people will talk to their coach and say yes, maybe, because they will understand more.
Yeah.
I mean, the coach, what is happening to the athlete, and you have to look out for the athlete in some instances. So if the athlete are overworked and I play game in, game out in the hardest league in the world, in English Premier League, I play game in, game out, every week, 2 days a week, he probably still come, but you have to understand you couldn't expect him now to go out there and then just, him can, but he probably not, him probably going in the red zone and you don't want to talk.
Yeah. So Ishmael is asking, what if the players prepared for preseason? But easy. Nobody, you need to come and play. No matter with that, Ishmael, I try to set up trap questions.
That's not an excuse. Yeah.
No, he knows how he's talking. He knows how we were talking. I try to set
trap. I'm just saying that's not an excuse. But, if you're not in a FIFA window, you must come. That's my point.
And like you see, me bring up a next one. You just finish a long season and needs a vacation. That is a good excuse still, that's not a bad excuse. Because if a man go all the way to the Champions League and you have a game the week after that, and he has played almost all the games, he may need a little rest. And the next thing as well, let me give you this.
If it's a FIFA window, you call, you and the coach work it out, or you turn up.
That's what I'm saying. All right, well, let me give you a good one. Gabriel Magalhaes of Arsenal was called up by Brazil. He came out publicly that he rejected the call, but he didn't. What happened is that his wife was having a baby. So there are times when you understand me. A man wife have a baby. You can't get vexed with him and say I'm not committed if him stay and take care of him family and everything there. So there are different things, man. But Business Speed, very good show. Looking forward to the games this weekend, people. Let me tell you again. Listen, all of you are talking about a time for them start play the game, them a venue. You can imagine, them a block out poor people from watching match them. Because man need to go a match. See the venues them open up here now, all who they are talking, Sabina Park, Free Campari,
Sabina Park.
Yeah, it's what Monday Night Football plays black. Black, you know, man. Be that the crowd was more than what was at Mount Pleasant. So please, 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 please.
A Montego Bay people, you see, you not getting a match. Big
Yeah,
bad water house in the house.
yeah, there you go. There you go. Moby, make sure you make my prediction right. Coach, let man, leave
People from
off.
Westmoreland, people from Westmoreland, Westport Park is the place to be. People from
So,
Hanover, people from Trelawney, people from St. James. Westport Park, Sunday, 3
yeah, so
p.m.
Westport Park, Sabina Park, Jacksal Park.
Everywhere Park.
Yeah. So you understand me. So make sure game Saturday, Sunday. And then because of that, not all the games will be live on TV, but you can watch them delayed. So you need to
And
check
then
this.
and then again now in other weeks to come, just watch this space. We're going to other place in Jamaica. Just watch this space.
Yeah. Yeah, and Principles of Football is asking final question, and they will go: why the national team not focusing solely on under 23 players for the senior team? As in my opinion, from your past 24, unless you're a big name, you shouldn't be there. I don't know.
No, that's not a fair statement, Principal, because no other country really practice that. Yes, with team kind of old, but as you can see, the coach is slowly taking down the averages. I don't know what the averages was for the squad for this, but when I find out, I'll bring it up here. But we average age before this was 28 and a half. Yeah, we do agree so that is too old. The average age when we work up at 27 to 27 and a half. So if I work up in 4 years' time, we should be looking at the average age at 23. I don't know if that's where you get it from, Principal. But you have to remember, say, in the meantime, there's a thing named FIFA ranking and it affects a lot of things. So we can't just throw out the baby. Well, it's not babies anymore. Throw out the grandfather them and just say them out of the team. We have to make sure that enough of those players are there for us to bring across the young players. Right? They need experience and guidance from the older players. And there's gonna be some old players who will still be able to run the 10 mile and 11 mile per game. And I still want to keep those people in the game because they are persons who can change game, be a factor, help decide games at different age. Because you still have a lot of players at 30 still doing wonderful things in football. So I understand where you're going. You're looking at longevity, you're looking at building for the future. But if you ever throw out the old people in the world would not be a better place because of the amount of knowledge and experience that these people have.
Yeah. All right, there you go, people. We have come to the end of the JPL preview and review show for this week. We want to thank Mr. Rudolph Speed for, as usual, being on the show in the capacity as the technical director at Cavaliers Soccer Club, I think it is called, not football club, Cavaliers SC. Right. Also, Mr. Dumby Holden, our team manager, Mr. Paul Christie, he was on. And newly appointed Mullines manager, Brian Mighton. We call him the man of steel, not STEAL, but steel with two
Man didn't
E.
steal anything.
Yeah. Steel with two E's in the middle. Want to thank him as well. Want to thank all of you for sticking and staying with us, everyone in the comment section. Want to also thank Stephen from the JPL who gave us information about the games and the matches. Please make sure you go out, watch the games, follow what is happening, and support the league. It was really, really a good show, and appreciate your company. Yeah, so again, thank you so much. Remember, I am sure sports merch is out and they are going very fast. Only 22 for Jamaica, 22 for the States. Those in Jamaica are basically done. If you live in the United States and you wish to support I am sure sports by getting our merch, the merch has traveled on the gravel. You can call 1-954-639-2991 and you can get yours. All right.
So before you leave, Mannings man, Arnett Garden and Cavalier have met 25 times. Cavalier have won 5, drawn 7, and lost 13. Arnett scored 29 goals against Cavalier 38. So they still up to this date has gotten the better of Cavalier over the sustained period. Cavalier has been slowly clawing back, but Arnett Garden is still superior at this particular point in time.
Yep. There you go. All right. So Arnett Gardens people is just confirming that my prediction is right. You see that Arnett Gardens is going to beat Cavalier. But
Yeah.
Mr. Christie, yeah. But Mr. Christie is back on and we're actually closing. So people, he was not drinking and driving. He actually stopped when you saw him drinking. He wasn't driving. So now
No,
he's driving.
I'm just moving now. Yeah.
He's just moving now. So yeah, but end of the show. Thank you for coming back on. All the best this weekend, and we will talk again in next week. Let's see if you can keep the lead at the top of the table. You should be able to. Can Cavaliers climb the table? We will see. The Junglists are out for blood this season. I'm telling you. Paul T. Davis says, I don't know anything about defense because offense kills, speed kills. So
Offense is the best defense.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Can
sir.
listen, Mannings, man. Mr. Speed, there's a flaw in Arnett Garden's defense line, and Mr. Speed knows how to exploit that. Let me just leave it like that. They are susceptible at certain times. Mr. Speed is aware of that, and you will see a lot of counter punching from Mr. Speed because he understands where they are most vulnerable, and he'll be trying to exploit that. And if successful, we might be having a couple goals well because their confidence will keep them coming at
Mr. Christie, either way you take it, we will have a couple of goals at least. That I am. If there's any game that I am sure that at least 3 goals are going to be scored in, it is Cavaliers versus Arnett Gardens. I don't remember if Arnett Gardens has had a game where goals have not been scored. Every game that they have played, they have either conceded or they have scored.
Cavalier and Arnett games, the average goal is 2.64 per game. So goals will always score. That's the average.
So they are just over 2.5.
Right. So you could be looking at 3 goals is the average when Cavalier and Arnett meet.
Yeah. There you go.
Tell the Jamaican people that they won't be disappointed. They should come out and eat their Sunday dinner early. Come out and come and be a part of. It's an event now. The JPL is now turning the corner and fine tuning. It's not just a game you're going out now. It's an event. The people who are inclined to have a drink on a Sunday, there's gonna be the party stand with the Campari special and all of that. So you will get a whole lot of football, a whole lot of entertainment, both on the field and off the field. It's a nice little event that you can put in your calendar and start be a part of on a Sunday evening. Now we have something nice and entertaining to go and look forward to. And this picture will bring a lot of entertainment as well. So I would say to the Jamaican people, come out and watch the defending champion against the aspiring champion, and you will not be disappointed.
All right. So there we go, people. So enjoy the rest of your day. I will leave you with a couple of words from the people there at Herbert at Rossi's High School and also at William Nib High School. So have a wonderful day. Enjoy the games on the weekend until we meet again on the JPL review and preview show. Welcome. Dre Anyways are just arriving and seeing. I hear that Josh on Anglin is back in your side, but we discussed that already. So go and watch the replay. People, if you have not yet, please remember, like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the like button if you have not yet. Subscribe to the platform. All you footballers, please ensure that you watch it because we are coming out there to interview you, to talk to you, to get your perspective. All you coaches, make sure you follow I Am Sure Sports, where you get real credible information on the Jamaica Premier League. You understand me? Watch it because it'll get bigger and bigger. Big up to the organizers and the people who are at the top, like Christopher Williams and his team, for the wonderful thing that they're doing. Hope some people will come in and put in some money. That chicken company coming to Jamaica and them telecommunication company coming to Jamaica drop and make when time man win the league. It's 500 million Jamaican dollars for winning the league. Yes, that's what we want. $500 million prize money for the winners. And then we can say, yes, the youths, them can start getting quarter million a month for them pay at Cavaliers and don't be holding. So you have a blessed afternoon and enjoy your weekend until we meet again. I am Manningsman and we are over and out. Listen to these promos from Rossi's High School and William Knibb as we go.
William Knibb Memorial High School D Cup Alumni presents its third annual fundraising barbecue on Memorial Day, May 30th, 2022. Wear your favorite jersey to Wilsonwood Park in Mount Vernon, New York. Remember to take exit 12 off the Hutchinson River Parkway. Music by DJ Mad Max of Sound 1000. Proceeds to aid the William Knibb High School Costa Cup team. For more information, contact Keegan 304-607-4034. Our Codfish at 954-639-2991. Proud of people, it's important. Remember, make sure say Ono did that.
Yo, saw me, the young Jamaican trainer, Mr. Strength No Weakness himself. Yo, I'm here to tell you guys that the Broses family presents their second annual Blue and White Grill and Chill. Let me let you know something. It will be so much fun and amazing event. Make sure you show up and show out. From the young Jamaican trainer himself. Listen, Saturday, May 28th, and it's 3458 Ballard Avenue, Bronx, New York. We'll see you later. Strength No Weakness.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New heard this. The body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho Race, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha. Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from where they need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.